All right, here I am with my mom, Linda Roberts, casting director, personal manager from Hollyweird, California. We're from Hollyweird, aren't we, Mama?
Yes.
Okay, so what did you want to tell me today? What's the story you wanted to tell me?
When I first moved to Los Angeles permanently,
When was that?
that was in 1979.
Okay.
And I went to my first party, a big party at Paramount Studios. And I think you and Jason were both with me. And the Doobie Brothers was one of the bands. And the other band was as big as the Doobie Brothers, and I'm trying to remember who it was. But it was so much fun. The studio was closed that day for that party. And I thought, gee, what a great party with the Doobie Brothers playing music.
That's incredible.
And I just remembered that as I'm listening to you playing guitar and singing. I just love it.
Did you do any Doobie Brothers in your bands or no?
No,
Yeah.
I didn't. And I'm trying to think of who the other band was. It was as big as that band.
Do you remember when remember when you got me an extra in that Skate Town, USA? Remember that film, Skate Town, USA?
Yes.
I think you had a client in there or something, didn't you? Or...
Vic Dunlop.
Oh, Vic Dunlop was in Skate Town, USA.
Yeah.
Oh, man, God rest his soul, man. He was a funny guy, wasn't he?
He really was.
He was one of the original Hollywood guys that really turned it on, man. Him and Skippy Lowe and all those guys from the 70s and 80s in Hollywood. Who were some of the other comedians that were going on around there?
Howie Mandel and Vic did a TV show together, Make Me Laugh.
All right.
No, not that one.
Well, they were
I'm sorry.
They were part of Make Me Laugh, though, if I
Um,
remember correctly. Vic Dunlop wasn't he?
but they did a show together, and Howie had that big old white hand that he put on his hand. It was some kind of a mitt, and he wore a baby's hat.
I think he's a germaphobe is what it is, and that's why he put that mitt on. That's what I'm finding out later. I believe that's what it is.
Yeah.
He's a germaphobe.
Yes, he is.
But that's okay. You're kind of a germaphobe, too. Lots of people are.
And that's all I remember about that party. But it was fun. A lot of people were there.
Yeah, those Hollywood parties. Those are awesome, weren't they?
Yes.
I know. I miss them, too. I went to quite a few of them with you. And all those Hollywood people.
You've got the phone down by my chest.
Not really. It looks like it. Oh, I got my finger over the top of that. But at any rate, any other fun Hollywood things that...
Well, we went to Marty Ingles and Shirley Jones to a barbecue one time.
I remember that.
And you were in your teens, and so was Jason.
Yeah.
And that was in itself, working for Marty was pretty amazing, the things that happened with him. He called me one day when I was in the office, and he was at home where he always was in his pajamas. And he said, Shirley and I have been talking, and when you come over, you love to play our piano, so we want to give that piano to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, oh, that's great. I appreciate that so much. He said, well, I was going to give it to Pepperdine University, but Shirley wanted you to have it because you love it so much, and we're going to have it delivered tomorrow. And I said, okay, great. And it was delivered the next day, and a couple of hours after the delivery people had left, Marty called me and he said, I've changed my mind. I'm sending somebody over to pick up that piano and I'm going to give it to Pepperdine. I said, no, you're not. That piano is staying right where it is.
Oh, yeah.
Right in front of my front doors, my patio doors. And he said, no, we're coming for it. I said, don't waste your time. I'm not even going to be there. Bye-bye. And Marty and I went through this argumentative situation so many times. One that really sticks in my mind is I had booked, Marty's business was booking celebrities on events or commercials. And the dancer that used to dance with it's just escaping my mind right now.
You'll think about it in a
this
minute.
was. But she was a famous dancer, and Marty liked to talk to the celebrities, even though we initially made the call to the celebrities. He liked to close the deal. And it wasn't Rita Hayworth, but it was another dancer in her category. And I booked her on this catalog. And Marty called me up at the office and he said, I need you to come over here right away because Greg Boutzer is coming here at 5 o'clock to talk to me about the contract that we did that he's not happy with. So I went over to his house and he said, now, whatever happens, just be really nice to Greg Boutzer. He charges $550 an hour, and he's probably going to be here for an hour and a half, and just listen to what he has to say. And I said, okay. So Greg Boutzer, who was one of the top celebrity attorneys in Los Angeles, he pulled up and he had a driver and he got out of the car and came inside and had this beautiful gray suit with pinstripes in it and a really nice handkerchief in his pocket. And oh, he was handsome, so handsome with gray hair. And he came in and yes, he was in and out quickly because he said, Marty, see this contract right here? Rip. Now you don't see it. We're starting from scratch.
Oh, I love it.
And if you want my client, I want you to offer her something that makes sense, not this kind of stuff.
Wow.
So we never could come to terms with that. So Betty White ended up doing that project.
Wow.
And she did a great job, never had any complaints, never questioned or anything.
Wow.
She was really good.
That's awesome. So did you get to, were you there at that event?
What?
Did you go to that event?
Yes.
Did you go to the event yourself?
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I remember going over to Shirley Jones' house. I remember that barbecue. And that was an odd time because when we had just moved to Beverly Hills, you and I and Mark, and I was going to Beverly Hills High School, and of course Pat Cassidy was a year older than me, and he was the star quarterback of Beverly Hills High School's football team. And of course he comes from the legendary Cassidy boy family. Shawn, Patrick, what's the other boy's name? All those Cassidy kids. Shawn, Patrick, and...
There were just two boys.
David Cassidy was really big, right? So, yeah, Shawn Cassidy. It was Shawn Cassidy, David Cassidy, Pat Cassidy, right? So there were several brothers. And of course, they're all talented. But I remember going over to Shirley Jones' house, and she was going, oh, your mom says you guys play music. And We're like, yeah. And she goes, well, we got a music room upstairs. And so we went up there, me and Jason did, and Pat was in there. And, you know, we're going, okay, cool. We're over at the Partridge Family lady's house with the kids. So we go up there, man. I'll never forget the looks on their face when Jason started playing. I mean, those guys are talented, but when Jason started playing stuff and singing, he took command of that room. And those guys are talented, but to walk into that room and really, like, get someone's attention, he did. And I'll never forget it. Me, hey, I was okay. I was a good musician, but that guy, Jason, opened his mouth up and started playing and singing, man. I'll never forget the looks on those kids' faces. They were like, wow, man. They knew there was something special going on in that room. And inside of me, I was just like, there's the ringer. That's my brother. But, you know, but I mean, I respect the Cassidy kids. They're a huge talent. But when you're nobody and you're walking in the room like we were, I was like, all right, you ready for this? Because I knew what was going to happen. They didn't know. They probably just, we're going to go jam with these kids and see what. But boy, I'll tell you, man, Jason really took reins in that room that day. It was quite remarkable. And I'm not saying that horribly about the Cassidy kids. It's more about how Jason really, under any circumstance, could, even at a young age, really command the attention by what he did. But at any rate, so yeah, that was fun over there. I remember that. And that piano, we had that piano for a long time.
Yeah.
Tom Keane used to come over and play that piano, and God, Jason and we'd all play that piano and sing songs, and Tom would just tear that thing up. And those Keane brothers, John and Tom, wow, yeah, the piano got some mileage. Those were fun days.
Was that a grand piano?
That was like a big grand. It was probably one of the biggest grands that they make. But at any rate, okay, well, I'm going to close this up because my phone battery is on its way out. But anyway, that was some nice little stories there, weren't they, Mama?
Yeah.
All right, we'll come back with some more stories because we got plenty of them. We're from Hollyweird.